What's the safest place in the world? I mean, the place where you are least likely to encounter any danger at all. Wouldn't it be great if you found out it's right where you are at this very moment? Well, one safe place for sure is right here in my study with me. So grab your cup, lift it up, and let's kick off today's Morning with Bishop Robert. I'm really glad you're here, and I hope you'll be back often. You know, my goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know Him and His Word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and then, of course, share it with a friend. You know, searching for safety is a natural response to fear. But we sometimes have some pretty strange fears. Some of the weirder phobias I've heard of are electorophobia, which is a fear of chickens, and genuphobia, which is a fear of knees. Or how about caporophobia, which is not the fear of police, but it's actually the fear of defecating. Claustrophobia sounds like it should be the fear of Santa, but it's not. And finally, megalophobia is the fear of giants. But shouldn't that be fee-fi-phobia? Well, when you decide to be a Jesus follower, He's going to lead you into some places that you may find challenging or scary. When He begins to show you the job He's created for you to do, it's going to seem overwhelming. So the first and perhaps one of the greatest obstacles that you'll need to overcome is your fear. And the key to that is knowing that He is the one who will keep you safe. Today's verse says, "Whoever puts his trust in the Lord is kept safe." Now, I think there's a reason why the Bible records God telling so many of His servants, "Fear not." I mean, Joshua was told to be strong and very courageous. The people of Israel were told not to be afraid or discouraged as they approached the promised land. Prophets, priests, kings, and royal counselors were all encouraged to trust God and not fear. God says, "Do not be afraid," over 100 times in the Bible. And you know why? Because some of the things He calls us to require a great deal of trust and faith and flat out courage. But through it all, He walks with us. God keeps us safe. Us. I mean, the real us, not necessarily our bodies. I mean, in the eternal scheme of things, what happens to our bodies is really of no consequence. Can you imagine winning a marathon with $1 million prize and then complaining after the race that, well, you'd broken a shoelace? Or maybe playing on a FIFA World Cup winning team with a $450 million winning share, and then griping that, well, you'd had to slide in the dirt and you even skinned your knees while playing. Of course not. It's absurd. Look, the final prize far outweighs any temporary minor inconvenience. What we need is a supernatural response to fear. Hey, here's the entire verse for the day. The first part sheds light on a major issue holding us back from dedicated to service to Christ. It says, "The fear of man is a snare, but whoever puts his trust in the Lord is kept safe." There it is. The fear of man. What will my neighbors think if I talk to them about Jesus? You know, we fear damage to our reputation. Our family, neighbors, friends, they seem like giants in our sight. And all of a sudden, we all develop megalophobia. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I heard you're a Christian, and here I come. The biggest giants of your imagination start pounding on your door and challenging your stand for Christ. Mary, you're going to believe the Bible? Jeff, have you lost your mind? But facing your giants and walking in victory will deepen your faith. See, God says the fear of man is a snare. That means it's a trap. It's designed to lure you, to stop you, and then take you prisoner. All the giants we face seem big and powerful. They always have. But a young teenager named David faced off against a warrior that was a full 2 feet taller than Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, Goliath was over 9 feet tall. But David knew that whoever puts his trust in the Lord is kept safe. And the key is that if we want to accomplish the maximum potential in our lives, we've got to be willing to face and overcome the giants that oppose us. You know, some years ago, I stood with one of my sons in that very valley where David faced Goliath. And I told him to go over to the riverbed and draw out 5 smooth stones, just as David had done. And then this is what I told him when he returned. Son, I want you to put these where you'll see them every day. Perhaps your desk, your bureau, even a bookshelf. But let them remind you that there will always be giants. So there will always be a need for men of faith, men whose decisions are driven by the size of the God they serve, not the size of the giants that stand before them. Whoever puts his trust in the Lord is kept safe. Real safety is measured by the final outcome, not the blood and bruises of the battle. We win. There is laid up for us a crown in heaven that we cannot lose. Stand strong. The safest place in the world is wherever Christ calls us to follow him, even if we're facing giants. Hey, as we wrap up today, can I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus that they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better? Please like this video. It will help more people see it. And then follow or subscribe so you and I can get together every day. Tell me about some giants you've faced or are facing in the comments section. Hey, that's also a great place to leave a question. And one more thing. Share it with a friend, would you? Because as you do, you're part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.